Howdy, I'm Chef Nancy and welcome to Family Friendly Foods. Today, we're doing potatoes. We're gonna do potato soup, potato latkes, scalloped potatoes, all that yummy food. Okay, Kirby, we're gonna make scalloped potatoes first because we need to put them in the oven.
I love scalloped potatoes and I'd like to know how to make them, so I'm glad I'm here.
Well, and the fun thing with it, some people just make scalloped potatoes and all they do is use potatoes and milk. I, on the other hand, use potatoes, onions, and cheddar cheese. First thing though, always spray your pan.
Okay.
That's
So
sprayed, ma'am. Yes.
All right.
Now, what we're going to do is use the food processor to cut the potatoes because I'm not doing it.
No, this will be my job. How about that?
All right, that's your job. And what I've got back here, I've got a little over 3 cups of milk. And what I'm doing with it is I've added some roux to it.
What's roux?
Really enough roux. Roux is equal parts fat and flour. So I added 2 tablespoons of butter and 2 tablespoons of flour.
Okay.
Now I put the milk in, I want to bring it up to a boil. And anybody out there is going to go, that's not enough to thicken 3 cups, it's just enough to thicken a cup. But we're putting it in potatoes.
Oh.
And all the starch from the potatoes will help thicken it up.
They have their own thickener.
Right, so while you're doing that, I'm going to keep checking on this.
This is the fun part. Now, Nancy, how many potatoes am I using in this recipe?
It's about 2.5 pounds. And if you say, I don't have a scale at home, well, that's fine. Get 2.5 pounds at the grocery. All right, now, this is kind of, no. Oh, look at the starch.
I've never used this slicer in mine.
thank
Oh,
you.
those are nice looking potatoes.
All right, what we're going to do is we're going to layer this.
All right.
And if you start layering, now this we're going to divide into thirds.
You've taught me to really use my hands a lot more when I cook.
Well, what are you going to do? Use a tongue?
Well,
We could be here. I mean, they don't mind filming, but
Mind. Oh, I thought at home you don't mind that we use our hands, do you?
well, you're clean. You washed them.
I did wash my hands.
Now, see how nice and thin these potatoes are?
All right.
You can cut them by hand if you want.
No.
But why do that if you can do this? Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start while you're doing that. You want to do the potatoes, and you're just going to kind of put them down. So we're going to do this.
Do you want me to do this?
Well,
Seems like a mindless task I'm capable of.
one of us will do this.
All right.
I'll do this side. Keep going.
And I'm going to go on this side?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then we're going to do oignon. We're going to do 3 layers of potatoes
Okay.
and 2 layers of onion.
And it's just a big, it's like a 7-layer dip, but it's
Well,
not.
no. It's more like lasagna.
Yeah. More like lasagna.
What I've got here is a medium onion. Weighs not even a half a pound.
Yellow?
This is yes, it is yellow because they're less expensive.
99 cents usually.
Yeah. So I'm going to do this, and then we're going to make 3 layers of cheese. So you go on and do that.
All right. More potatoes?
More potatoes.
It's a good thing we have 2 people working. This would be good to do with a child, wouldn't it?
Oh, excellent to do with children.
That's why you brought me along.
No. All right, here we go. And the whole idea of this show is to show y'all how to make
Family-friendly
foods that aren't expensive. All right.
and are simple enough for even someone like me. All right, so I'm using up the last of this cheese. Right?
No. That's all right. We don't have to have cheese on the top.
Okay.
All
I can
right.
pull some off.
No. This is one of those things where it's okay. Now, you're going to go, you didn't put any salt or pepper in this. Aha. I put salt and pepper in my milk. Now, I used white pepper. If you don't have white pepper, that's fine. So I'm going to take this and pour it over here.
How many cups of milk did we have in here?
It's a little more than 3. About 3 1/3.
I should have timed this. That was an incredibly fast
It's
recipe.
easy to make. There's nothing to it.
And so much fun with a friend.
Well, and wait till you see how much this makes. Now, this makes a whole lot.
Of course, we can't forget to keep whisking the milk when you're making the layers,
Right, because it'll burn. Now, I'm going to get some Reynolds wrap and cover this.
Okay.
And we'll put it in the oven.
All right, for how long?
We're going to check it in about 30 minutes.
Okay, because I'm hungry now. But I'm willing to wait for this delicious recipe. And at 350?
It's on 375.
All right.
And I'm going to cover it. We're going to put it in there. And then the next thing we're going to do, we're going to get our potato soup going. And then we're going to fry some potato latkes.
Can't wait.
We're making them Adelaide style.
I don't have
My
any idea.
mama's name was Adelaide.
Oh.
And see, she was born in this country, but her parents weren't. So this is truly
German?
German. Okay. Okay, Kirby,
All right, Nancy.
it's time
Chef.
for tater soup.
You say taters, I say totters. What do we do?
All right,
for
want to
this
get a potato,
soup? All right.
and we're going to cut it in half long ways.
All right.
All right, and then take this, because we want it to cook kind of fast.
All right.
And cut it into thirds.
Into thirds. Oops, I've gone into fourths. So
All right,
this
and
one-
then you're going to just do a dice
do a dice.
like this.
Okay.
Okay?
I hope none of your chef friends ever
Oh,
critique me on this.
they will.
Of course they
Now
will.
look, watch. Kirby,
Yes.
slide it through.
Slide it through.
Slide it through.
Slide it through.
That's not sliding.
Okay. What was that?
That was smashing.
Slide it through.
Okay, much better.
Slide it through.
Slide it
Slide
through.
it
You want to
through. Do it
use
at
your
home.
whole blade.
Slide it. Slide it home. Slide it through.
All right, now.
Rest of them.
Yeah, I want to get them all done. All right, if you will go on and put those back in that bowl.
Yes.
Let me show you a good way to do that.
Oh, go like this.
Yeah, and pull that out.
Hey, you know, Nance, you know the nice thing about potatoes is they're very inexpensive and they're very filling.
That's why I'm doing a show on them.
I
And they're not fattening. What's fattening is like what you do to them.
Right, the butter.
And like with the scalloped potatoes, the only fat was the milk.
Mm-hmm.
And so you could use 2%, which I think that's what I used.
I think it
I mean,
was.
some-
It was 2%.
Now,
All right, what's
I'm
next?
not using that much butter with this.
Yeah.
I'm just using a smidgen. And I'm also going to use white pepper and a little bit of, I'm not going to salt this because I'm using canned chicken broth.
And there's sodium in that?
Sodium
Yeah.
in it. If you want to salt it later, fine.
All right, then.
But I'm only using like a half a stick of butter, and this is going to make a lot of potato soup.
All right.
And fat's your flavor carrier. So here we go.
Here we go.
We're going to saute this. We're going to add the chicken broth to it, and we're going to let it simmer.
Well, our scalloped potatoes are still baking.
I know.
This is fantastic.
I know. Oh,
great
everything will come
afternoon.
up at the same time. Kirby, I already cut up the onions.
Thank you for doing that.
Oh, gosh. I mean, I was crying.
I bet you were.
Now, I'm going to put the onions in here,
Okay.
and it's sizzling a little.
What do we have? Half a cup of butter in there?
No, just a half a stick.
Oh, half a stick. I'm just doing
Now,
a little math.
I'm going to add a little white pepper
Why do you like white pepper rather than black pepper?
because it'll look like it has bugs in it.
Oh. Thought maybe there was a difference in taste, but that's
Well, it's a little bit hotter. White pepper's a little bit hotter.
interesting. Okay.
Now, all right, now I'm going to toss this around so it all gets coated with the fat, the good fat. See, it's not margarine. I don't use margarine. I use butter. I don't use that much, but butter is a better fat than margarine because margarine is a trans fat. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to add enough chicken stock
Okay.
to cover these potatoes.
And so-
it should be 2 cans.
We're going to completely covered.
Yeah, and if not, we'll add a little bit of water.
Oops.
Okay, I'm going to get the lid. I'm going to put it on the back burner, and we're ready to rock and roll. It's my mama's potato latkes.
Adeline?
Adelaide.
Adelaide.
Now, here's the scoop. She used to make these, and remember on Fridays we couldn't eat meat because we were Catholic. We'd even have these on Fridays.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, I mean, we had them all the time.
And this is a German recipe.
German.
Wow.
Now, what I would like for you to cut the parsley up.
All right.
And you're gonna do that, and you're gonna start and just keep doing that. And I'm gonna drain. I already grated my potatoes in the food processor.
Now, why are those potatoes kind of red looking?
Well, because they started to oxidize.
Okay, and that's just something potatoes do when you cut them.
Right, that's why I put them in water. All right, let's see where you are. Okay, now let me show you a trick from here.
All right.
When you start getting close to the stems, you want to go.
Oh, I've seen them do that on cooking shows, but I didn't know what they were up to. Just using more of the parsley,
Right,
but not getting too many stems.
right. Now, what you're going to do, you're going to take it in a bunch, and you're going to put one hand here, and you're going to go.
Awesome.
Okay?
Yep. Real chef-like.
Real chef-like. Oh, doesn't that smell good? I
yes.
love fresh herbs.
Nancy, I'm so hungry. I've been eating bits of this parsley while you weren't looking. So let's get these 3 potato recipes finished.
Okay.
Oh.
Now I'm draining these, and I'm not just draining them.
What are you doing besides draining them?
I'm going to squeeze them out so we don't have a lot of water in them. And I'm going to use a clean towel.
Because it's important that they're very dry or what?
Yeah, otherwise it just makes a mess.
So you're saying you could just serve potato latkes as a, not Ryan latke, but potato latkes as a main course?
Well, Mama would add egg or something to it.
Okay.
All right, now I'm going to put them in here
All right.
and get them good and dry. If you'll notice how we put the potatoes for the scalloped potatoes, we didn't put them right in water first because we wanted to make sure they were good and dry for the recipe.
All right. Well, that's a good thing to know. 'Cause I
Yeah.
didn't realize how important.
You
Dry
just cut them
potatoes were.
right when it's time. But these things are cut so small, sometimes there's nothing you can do about it. Now see how wet this is?
Wow.
I mean, it's really wet.
So you've gotten them nice and dry.
Well, let's hope.
Yeah.
It really makes a difference when you go to make them. Now,
What's
these
that?
are the onions. I grated an onion,
Okay.
okay? So what I've got in here right now is onion, about 2.5 pounds of potatoes. Since we're frying these, you won't see the black pepper. So that's why I'm using it.
Okay.
Okay.
What's next?
Oh, that's perfect.
Isn't that nice? Feel pretty good about it.
Well, you should. And now I'm doing salt. And
Do you need a spoon?
what I need is the eggs that I left over there, of course.
Why, thank you. Magically appearing.
Okay, now what I do is I start out with 2 large eggs. When a recipe calls for eggs, whether it's on the back of the Duncan Hines cake box or whatever, they mean large eggs. All eggs have a weight. Large are 2 ounces. So 12 eggs are about 24 ounces. So here we go. I keep saying so. But if you want to add another egg to this, it doesn't hurt it.
So,
So,
how many eggs are we using again? I've already forgotten.
2.
2.
Now
And how many ounces are a large egg?
2 ounces.
2 ounces, okay.
Now, I'm going to
4
ask you to put this in a minute. And this parsley really makes a difference, and that's about a bunch. It really, people, once they taste these with the parsley,
Do you want some more?
sure,
Thank you.
they can't believe the difference.
I can't believe I've been eating these without parsley, they say.
Well, I did some at the.
Is this your mom's secret?
I guess because our family's the only family I know that does this.
So tell us a little bit about your mother as you're
She
mixing
was-
this together. How many kids did she have?
6. I was the youngest.
Oh.
She had 5 children. The oldest one was 18. The youngest one was 10 and a half. And voila,
Oh.
they thought she had a tumor.
Well,
And they operated on her.
they operated on her and found you?
Sold her back up. And I was born in August, and it was before air conditioning, and all she could say is, "Do you know what you put me through?" Because she had to wear a corset.
Oh my goodness. Whoop.
I know.
This was before ultrasound or something, I guess.
Yeah, well,
What do we do now?
more.
More. How
Yeah.
much? Like that much? Or more?
Maybe a little bit more. Okay. I mean, I got these as dry as I could. What you're trying to
that's-
accomplish here,
I'm gonna put a little bit more in. That made me happy.
Kirby, there's nothing more fun than cooking with you.
Well, I was just thinking how this reminds me of like working with clay.
Oh, yeah. And what you're looking for, see, even when I squeeze it, it gets a little liquid.
Yeah, it does.
Uh,
But so you need more?
I need a little bit more, yeah. And lots of times, you're
Yes.
scaring me. It depends on the time of the year, too.
How watery the potatoes are?
Yeah,
you need a little
and
bit
how
more, don't you?
humid it is.
I could see there was water coming out.
Right. But remember how much I squeezed them. That's why you want to really
They
make sure they're
smell
dry.
very,
Don't they smell
very
good?
good.
Now, what we want to do is we want to see if they'll hold together. All right, what we're going to do is we're going to let these sit for a minute.
Okay.
I'm going to wash my hands.
Because we need to check the scalloped potatoes because they've been in for 35 minutes.
Absolutely.
Oh, goodness. They're very heavy, huh?
Yeah.
I got it.
Thank you, ma'am.
Scalloped potatoes coming out.
Now, we
Are we
probably need to set them back in. We do.
Okay.
See how they're boiling?
Right?
That's what we want.
Okay. But,
When I put this in here, I sprayed this so it wouldn't stick to the top.
okay. Genius. Why didn't I ever think of that?
Now, I'm going to put this back in. Let's check it in about 10 minutes or so. It's starting to thicken up. And want to let it sit a couple minutes before we cut it like lasagna.
All right. So, because it's been in
Okay.
there for 35. So, let me get out of your way and I'll open this up.
Thank you, ma'am.
Oh, I can't wait. Cannot wait.
Yummy! Now, I'm going to turn this front burner on.
I'm going to remove this rubber spatula.
Oh, well, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to stir our soup.
Okay.
Oh, look.
Now, is it going to be chunky or will it?
No, we're going to use that immersion blender.
Oh, okay.
And we'll wait until they get soft. Just like
Understood.
mashed taters.
All right.
All right.
So what do I do next?
So what we're going to do next is I'll get the dirty hands. Now first, it's got to be hot enough. And it is not.
I thought you were putting your finger in there, but that was a piece of potato.
Yes,
Okay.
it was not my finger. Okay, that's nice.
So your oil's ready.
Yeah, here it's sizzling.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
All right, so this is good to know. These don't have to be absolutely perfect. They have.
Oh no, that's what makes them fun.
It's an easy recipe because there aren't that many.
There aren't that
ingredients.
many ingredients. You can make these ahead of time and even save them and freeze them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and just heat them back up in the oven.
Typically, what do people eat with their potato
All right,
latkes?
potato latkes for the side. With them, lots of times we would have applesauce
That's what I was thinking.
or
Yeah.
sour cream.
Okay.
And you can use them with any meal. I mean, they're kind of like hash browns. Now, when they start getting brown on the other side, you turn them. So that one's brown, that one's starting to get brown. I'll turn this one. I think I turned that one before.
What kind of oil did you use in this?
Oh, I just use canola oil. You can use vegetable oil.
Any kind of oil will do.
Yeah.
Would olive oil be bad? That's a lot of
Yeah,
oil.
yeah,
That would
no.
be very expensive too.
Yeah, no, you don't want it. Well, it affect the taste of the Latkes.
Yeah.
Now, what my mama used to use was lard.
Yeah, I was gonna guess.
Now, the reason these aren't real brown is this oil is so clean.
Oh, they look like a little bird's nest.
Yeah, they do. All right, so once these get brown on the other side, I'm going to take them out and do my next round.
Okay.
And while that next round's cooking, we're going to pull our potatoes out.
Fantastic.
Fantastic! It started to get brown on the top.
Just move this over.
Oh, wow.
This is gonna be delicious.
Yeah, you want to let it sit for a few minutes. And when you have leftovers, it really sets up because it gets cold.
Right.
And then you can cut it, and it's kind of like macaroni and cheese. You know, it sets up when it gets cold. So we're going to let that sit there for a few minutes.
Okay.
Okay, Kirby, our potatoes are nice and mushy like
Yes.
mashed potatoes. There's the immersion blender. If you do that, now, remember, I didn't add salt to it, but I added some white pepper. And we're going to blend it all up. You're going to need to come up and down with it a little. No, turn it off. Pick it up. Put it down. Go. Now you can kind of do it on its side too.
This can't be right.
You're just not used to doing it.
Oh, keeping it in there. I thought I was supposed to pull it all the way out.
Well, you can.
I've singed my eyebrows with potato soup.
And it's hot.
I'm just gonna step over here.
No, I'm just going to have you finish it.
All right. I kind of feel like I did a big fail there, but all right. This looks good.
Oh, yeah.
This immersion blender is awesome.
All right, now, here's what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do.
Okay. Boy, that's completely
I'm going
creamy
to
now.
taste it and see
All right.
what we need to add to it. And if it's too thick, you can always add some more chicken stock to it,
Mm-hmm.
a little water, thin it out with some milk.
bacon. Kidding. Of course no
No,
bacon.
you're not. Bacon would be excellent, but that's not
Oh,
it.
I'm not. It's not my turn. What do you think?
I think let's serve it up.
Right.
Okay.
What about this though? What about our scalloped potatoes?
Well, we're going to serve those up too.
I don't think I can wait another
Can you?
second.
Do that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm going to cut this like lasagna. And see, I'll let it sit for a while to kind of set
How long
up.
did we let this pot of potato soup cook on the stove, do you suppose?
Well, until they got soft.
So maybe I think it was about 30 minutes.
Yeah, and it just depends.
I just
If
like to know that kind of thing because when I get home from work and I'm trying to make,
you're trying to time it out.
yeah.
Now, what you're going to do is you're going to eat this and taste this like a lady, Kirby.
Right? I'm going to scoop away from my, is that what you mean? Good
Yes, yes, let's try this first. Now, it's very hot. All this stuff's hot. Okay. No, I meant don't gulp it down like
Oh.
because you're hungry.
This is nice. This is perfect.
Nice, it's simple. Mm-hmm. I think it's lovely.
Doesn't really need anything else at all.
Some people might want salt, but I'm trying to do that cut back on salt.
I don't think it needs more salt at all.
No, maybe a little bit more white pepper if you wanted it a little more of a kick. And you could garnish it with some parsley if you wanted.
Okay. Pretty.
Okay, now,
Good.
here we
That would make
go.
it pretty, but it's also pretty good. All right, we're
I'm
going
going
to
to
eat this.
take this with my hand.
Okay. Thank you. Now this is your mom's recipe. How does what you just made compare to what she would make?
Pretty much, it needs more salt. I haven't put enough salt in it.
Good though. I can imagine little Nancy enjoying this.
Yeah, with the applesauce.
I really like this. I would like to put some of this right in here. Can we try the scalloped potatoes soon?
Wait a minute. Potato and potato.
That's good.
Okay. Now.
Is it all right to dig in?
Yep.
Scalloped potatoes. That was really, really, really good, Nancy. And these were so easy to make. I'm going to make these tomorrow.
Yummy.
Thank you.
So, ladies and gentlemen of Metro Louisville, Kirby, Scalloped potatoes.
Easy, delicious. Thanks, Chef Nancy.
Yummy.
Now back to eating.
This is a good idea.